Guys, Mini Call here coming at you with another video. We are going to be talking about Polaris today, as well as doing a little war fight real fast. Just popped in with Mini to basically knock out this buff for the room, as well as knock out that turn 1 blind from Magneto. So let's go in with the silver factor, as I am calling them. I don't think Polaris is going to do a whole lot in this actual war fight, as she is a bit on the still weaker side. But I'm thinking the rest of the team should be able to handle this. What I've kind of gone and done in is I've actually already had Magneto use his ult, as well as Sinister using his ult as well, so his clone is up. So this team should be a lot on the weaker side. Once again, coming at you live on location, this time from beautiful Tulsa. Said no one. But, so we'll see how this war fight goes. I am thinking this should go pretty well, especially since we have kind of all the big moves taken out. Normally what I would say with this fight is, with multiple man, the kind of strategy to go against Sinister is actually to have Sinister clone one of the dupes, and that's probably what I would have done, except for the Magneto kind of adds a very, uncertain kind of dynamic. One cool thing about Polaris is she also does apply Disrupted, and I guess Sinister had not used his ult on the last one, so I'm glad I played that the way we did. So we actually just got a clone of one of the dupes. So we are going to load the field up with dupes. Now, Polaris is shaping up rather to be a pretty cool character. She is definitely a lot more stat dependent than, say, Multiple Man. Multiple Man is definitely kind of more of a kit-based character. So with a character like Polaris, you are definitely going to want higher red stars, obviously more gold stars, and that's going to kind of really help her to shine. But anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about her once we get this war fight finished. We've got Silver Surfer here, who just absolutely decimated that Strife. I mean, you saw that full health, and he basically one-shotted the Strife. Silver Surfer is a phenomenal character. I think until they get an actual designated 5th member, I will be using kind of this silver factor for the foreseeable future. Kind of a lot of different uses, from being able to kind of, I think, handle Black Order pretty well. They really kind of hard counter the emmaurders. And with all of our little multiple men dupes, we actually should be able to steal some of these buffs away from Sinister. So kind of a combination between Silver Surfer and the multiple men dupes, we should be able to hopefully keep a lot of these buffs kind of taken off of Sinister. Typically, I would say once you can get rid of the Strife on this team, the rest of the fight is pretty easy. Emma is now out of diamond form, so we will now focus fire on Emma. And I think this should be a pretty easy win on our end. We've got all the multiple men attacking. Longshot, sadly, was blinded there. But yeah, so I am feeling pretty good. I wasn't too sure if Polaris would actually live through this fight, just because of how little she is, and that's just kind of a combination of I ran out of some mutant gear. So hopefully the only thing we have to worry about is possibly timing out. We definitely don't want that to happen. I think once Emma gets out of diamond form, I believe Longshot's ultimate should be kind of available, and we should be able to hopefully nuke her down. That's kind of the only issue I can kind of foresee happening. We'll pop that. The heal block didn't stick, but that's not surprising. When Emma is in diamond form, she is kind of, she's not 100% immune to all debuffs, but it's pretty much like almost a guarantee that debuffs are not going to stick when she is in diamond form. We are getting close to timing out. We certainly don't want that to happen. So we are going to hopefully get her down. We have the ultimate available, so as soon as she gets out of diamond form, we will go ahead and use that, and hopefully the timer has not expired by then. We've got her down into the red, and let's see, we are going to kind of speed on up just a little bit. All right, we got rid of the Emma, and let's get rid of the, bam, 3 seconds to go. A bit on the speedier side. Definitely not the cleanest fight in the world, but definitely a really cool punch-up. I didn't really look at that team all that much, just because I wanted to get in before our enemy alliance boosted that team up, because I basically burned an attack to unboost them. So, looking here, we had a 180k punch up, if my math is doing good. So that's pretty good. I'd say that's really pretty solid. That was a really big Emma, a really big Sinister, and I didn't lose a single character. So that just kind of shows the potential, I would say, for X Factor. Again, my little baby Polaris, didn't die, and I definitely think that's kind of like a testament to like how this team functions. So pardon me for just a second. All right, so my alliance mates have already gotten the gun, and we've gotten another room marked up. I'm going to go in, and I will actually probably finish these attacks. If you'll want, we'll just kind of bang that out real fast. So this is kind of a Black Order on Black Order. This should be a really easy fight on my end. Black Order counters Black Order and can very easily punch up. This will be a bit of a punch down. So we'll do this fight real fast, and then we will talk a little bit more about Polaris. I'll do a Polaris Red Star opening up on Mini, as I have not opened the Red Star orbs yet on Mini, and then we'll just kind of go from there and talk a little bit more about X Factor. And just kind of, I guess, my plans going on with them in the future. So typically I would say when you are going up against a Black Order and you are using Black Order yourself, the general strategy is, you can play smarter than the AI. So while I do have Thanos' flip available right here, I know that next turn, the AI Thanos is going to do his flip and basically turn all of those positive buffs that I flipped into negatives for me. So what you actually want to do is you want to wait until the enemy Thanos does the flip. Once that happens, you can then go in and do your own flip. So, we've got all these negative debuffs on the field, which typically your Black Order should be able to survive that extra turn. And now that it's our turn, we will turn all those negatives to positives, and all their positives go to negatives. At this point, the match is pretty much over. Their Ebony Maw, I think, is a little bit bigger than mine, so he will probably ult before mine does, which is fine. It just means the fight takes a little bit longer. Yeah, that's kind of the key to going against an enemy Black Order, is you really want to hold your Thanos' flip until the enemy team does their flip, and then it makes it super easy. At this point, it's just kind of cleaning up. Our Ebony Maw will ult in a second and get everyone some life back, at which point my Thanos will now do his ult, and that'll definitely delete the Maw and the Proxima, and now all we have left is Big Daddy Thanos over here and Cull Obsidian. And at this point, we are now at a 5v1. This is a super easy fight. And that is basically how Khaleesi handles Black Order. Super easy. We will go in now and basically finish off the bridge, get a nice easy 200 points, and keep on going with this war. So I'm going to switch back on over to the original purpose of this video and talk about Polaris a little bit more. So let's go on in to the roster. I purchased one of the Polaris offers. I didn't purchase two. Like I kind of said, she is definitely going to be one of the more stat-dependent characters on X Factor. Kind of very similar, I would say, probably to Longshot and Shatterstar. But those two are kind of a little weird, where they're kind of hybrid, where they're both stat and kit-based characters. Whereas Multiple Man here is like purely a kit-based character. And the reason I say that is because 2 out of his 3 attacks actually don't attack. They are just abilities. So he is he's really not around to be doing this crazy damage or, being this like, I don't even know how to describe it, but basically the whole purpose of him is to basically spam dupes, have the field littered with dupes, and having them taunt, and basically he just helps everyone survive. So it's a really unique dynamic for a tank, but he is purely kit-based. Obviously, the more stars on him, the more red stars on him, the higher his health is going to be, the better he heals himself, and he can actually heal his allies with the ISO 8 healer class. But for the most part, the definitely more red star dependent character is going to be Polaris. So, if you can get her to at least 4 stars, that's awesome. I would say 5 stars would be even better. She is just kind of facing up to be a really cool character. You'll notice herself and Multiple Man both have these war offense tags in their kit, which definitely means that they are, a very war-focused team. This doesn't mean you can't use them in other areas of the game, but definitely a war team for sure. Now, so this one is really pretty cool. I would definitely say this is probably the first one to be T4'd, and adding 5% max health for self and the non-summon X Factor allies is phenomenal. And then also the plus 5% max barrier for self and the non-summoned X Factor allies is really cool as well. And basically, just kind of the concept behind that is basically anytime anyone is barriering, she is going to increase that barrier by 5%, which is really pretty cool. Her reverse polarity, this is definitely, from what I can tell so far, this seems to be kind of, I can see its appeal, definitely on teams going up against like the emmaurders, where you do have those regenerations, going against Sinister Six, with Dr. Octopus in particular, even the symbiotes, this definitely could kind of help that. I don't know that this is a required T4. Definitely, I think one of the more luxury ones, but the kind of cool thing about this one is it pulls all the enemies basically around your primary target, so very similar to the actual Magneto ultimate, and it makes sense since they are father-daughter. It's then going to attack the primary target and targets within 2 spaces for 260 damage, plus it's also going to apply Disrupted for 2 turns, which that is really pretty crazy. You're going to want to use this targeted on tanks in particular that taunt. And then if Multiple Man is an ally, she gains 100,000 extra focus to flip those regenerations to bleeds. So pretty cool. Her electrostatic field, definitely kind of another high, I think, priority T4. And the reasoning behind that is just this wording right down here. Now, even with Longshot's passive, and if you had her as a ISO 8 Raider, which I think is the recommended class that I'm going to go with, Might do a little testing and see if anything else works for her. But even with that, I think it puts her crit chance to like 110% or 120%. So in theory, she should be critting every turn, but that doesn't always happen. So the logic behind T4ing this is every time she does her special, it will always crit. And X Factor, the team, is literally built around you critting and getting those speed ups and the barriers. So any move that like guarantees a crit is a T4 worthy, in my opinion. Another one that I think definitely falls more on the luxury line is going to be her basic. In that match, I think I might have done her basic twice. But the only real appeal to T4 in this basic is the plus 5% barrier to a most non-injured summon ally. And it's an additional 5%. So she actually gets the first 5% in just the plain level 1. So basically you would be doing 10% barrier for her basic attacks. If this attack worked on the Striker ISO 8 bonus attack, I would definitely say she is a possible candidate for Striker. However, it does not do that. It just applies the bleeds. So, that is, I guess, maybe a possible other choice for her if you were really looking to get like a lot of bleeds on the field. But to me, this team doesn't really benefit as much from having like large amounts of debuffs on the field. As far as like, there's no kind of like they don't flip debuffs to positive buffs, that type of thing. So definitely I would say required for her. Passive first, for sure. I would then say her special, and then if you're feeling generous and you've got the T4s to spare, I would say her ultimate and special are definitely, they're not bad T4s, but they are not priorities to me. Like I said, I think she fits best as a raider. Now for her, going into Dark Dimension 3 or 4, I don't think she's as strong as a candidate as her other 3 X Factor allies. And the reasoning behind that is just because the way her kit is kind of built, it is semi-dependent on these other 3 over here, where Multiple Man is just kind of a really good standalone tank. And the Dad Bros are just obviously a phenomenal duo. The problem is so far all 4 X Factor members have a different affiliation or I always forget what they call these. I mean, I know the mutant thing is the origin part, but whatever this one is. So the Dad Bros are cosmic, Multiple Man is city, and then Polaris is going to be global. So if you could bring these 4 together into Dark Dimension, I think that'd be great. But the only nodes you would really be able to do that would be the unrestricted, and I just don't really see the benefit, right now anyway, of bringing Polaris into Dark Dimension 4. So that's my thoughts on Polaris. Let's hop on over to Mini, and we will open up some red stars. And that was just from my attack to basically lower the debuff, or not the debuff, but to drop out the cooldowns from that emmaurders team and basically have it be a nice, easy walk in the park for Khaleesi. Which I am still honestly pretty impressed with the fact that Polaris lived through that war fight. She's definitely on the smaller side. I mean, level 60, gear tier 10. I honestly didn't expect her to kind of live through that. So that just kind of goes to show the way that I would kind of attribute that to Multiple Man and just how well he functions as a tank. But anyway, so I am a little bit behind on my daily things, so I have not bought anything from the store today. I actually haven't even used energy. I need to get myself into raiding, as I haven't raided today. But anyway, so we will go into this red star orb opening. Like I said, I would like her at 5 stars. Ideally, if I can get her to 4 stars, I'd be okay with that. I don't really know of any characters that are going to be coming anytime soon. I would say the next patch is probably at the very earliest not coming till the end of April. We're talking 2.5 weeks away. I think ideally the next patch probably will be probably early May would be my guess. But so, with that being said, there are really no Red Star characters that I think will be coming anytime soon that I have a strong desire, I guess, to build up. So I'm going to probably go in and I will burn all of these Red Star Orb pulls. Based off of whatever we have left over from the pulls, I am going to then go in and open up the elites. And so we'll kind of see what happens. So far, our luck has not been super great. I think we had a 2-star Polaris pretty early on. Keep on pulling, lots of greens. We did have that 5-star Nick Fury, which, I mean, honestly, that would have been awesome like 2 years ago, but I don't see myself really using Fury. So we're up to 3 stars. We're definitely slowly building her up. Right now we've got at least 3 Elite 4s to open up here. And I think that actually might be able to get me to an Elite 5 as well. So we'll see. We had really good luck. All right, so we're getting there. We're at 4 stars. Minnie had some really good luck with just some basic orbs, and I actually pulled a 7 red Silver Surfer just from a basic orb, which was like mind-boggling. So we'll see. Hopefully Minnie continues to have some luck. The goal then obviously becomes to build up those characters. And I think it's going to be a very, very long time before Minnie is able to enjoy the benefits of a 7 red star Silver Surfer. But Polaris, I'm hoping, will be a little bit easier to farm following her initial strike pass release, because that is kind of how they confirmed how she's going to be getting released. Hopefully this doesn't kind of create a trend. I guess it's a weird thing because, for my baby account on Mini, a release like that, at least you're guaranteed to unlock the character when their 45 shard unlocks, as opposed to, say, a Blitz release, where, when new characters come out for Blitz, the veteran players really tend to go hard on those characters, so you normally are not getting as many shards as a veteran player, and so it's a weird thing to guarantee to unlock it for free. I guess is kind of a nice thing, but you could still at least do that in Blitz, especially with a 45 character shard unlock. So looking here, we can do 3 Elite 4s, and that should get us at least 1 Elite 5, and we will keep our fingers crossed, hope for the best, and let's see what happens. So the thing with Mini, we don't have a lot of high red star characters, so we don't run into the duplicates as much as, say, Khaleesi. But, so far, I thought actually I didn't have a 4-star long shot, or a Shatter Star, so I was like, oh, that's a nice drop, but we actually do. Alright, so we've got a couple dupes. We did not get our 5-star Polaris. This is going to be our last orb. So this is an Elite 5. Let's see what we got, and here we go. Alright, so it's a 5. And that's a great way to end things. So that was a lovely Hydra minion. Absolute garbage. Worth nothing. We are pretty close to another Elite 5. However, I don't think I've got any other ways to get Red Star Orbs, so that might have to be it for this Polaris Orb opening. Let me just check real quick, make sure I don't have any Red Star Orbs anywhere. I do not. So that's going to be it for this little Polaris video with a little bonus Black Order attack. But like I said, definitely a really cool team. If you've already built up X Factor in the sense of the Dad Bros, and if you're already working on multiple man, to me it only makes sense to start working on Polaris. Phenomenal war offense team for sure. We saw here, and I mean, part of this obviously is Silver Surfer, but 180k punch up in war is nothing to scoff to, I don't know, disregard, whatever word you want to use here. But so definitely a really cool punch up. And like I said, this fight kind of proves two things to me. Number one, multiple man functions as a phenomenal tank, as this little baby Polaris was able to go up against a Mr. Sinister that was almost 6 times as strong as she was, an Emma that was like 5 times as strong, and I mean, even their weakest character was nearly over double her collection power. So definitely a really cool team. Looking forward to building up Polaris for a phenomenal war offense team. And I mean, I can honestly even see this team maybe doing a little bit, doing actually pretty good in Ultima 7. I will need to build Polaris up a little bit more for that, but I can definitely do a video on that in the near future. At server reset today, I should be able to get Polaris to probably 65, level 70 maybe, and then hopefully get her to like gear tier 12 at least. So anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you are watching this on YouTube. As always, feel free to reach out if you do have any additional questions, and hope everyone is having a good week, and take it easy.